Hello, you lovely soul family. Thanks for finding me and connecting in with me today on this lovely YouTube channel. So last month I did some lovely, really good, interesting personal connections. I call it mind to mind. It's where we take a moment to connect in from a higher self perspective. And basically I take a message from your higher self and just offer that to you. And I just thought it would be a bit of fun, and I was going to do one of them, and then I was inundated with requests because people have given me feedback to say they found it a lot of fun, to lightheartedness, all the way through to some serious breakthroughs of clarity and recognition. And it's helped people move forward in a different way than they would have done initially. So this is offered in a fun way, and take it or leave it as you find. Lots of people were finding it nice to actually see what other people's higher selves were actually saying. So I did invite people to, sign up for this if they were happy that it went on YouTube, as a real unity consciousness exercise, really, in fully being seen and activating all the things that these abilities that we already have. I'm very much a person who believes that everybody has a sixth sensory ability, and we just need to use it more to get better at it, I feel. You may disagree, and that's great too. It's all good. But the unity consciousness that we're looking towards and looking to embrace more and fit within is one where we are happy to be seen fully as who we are. So that's me offering this to you about being fully seen, about the sort of thing I get up to in my day-to-day role, where I'm connecting with people in sessions and in groups and sensing what's needed and being a provider. They call it a way, see a way. And having a lot of fun doing it, and obviously taking it very seriously when need be also. So what we've decided to do this time as well is we started to do this on I think the 5th session that we did last time, was to write down in the comments field below who's actually on this video. So if you want to check, you don't want to watch it all the way through, but you want to check if this is one of yours, then you'll be able to do that. We thought that might make it a bit easier. And I do encourage you though to watch the personal connection sessions that we did previously, and it just gives you a sense of the beautiful celebration of differences that we all are. Everybody is uniquely wonderful at something, and everybody has a unique message and a unique feel to them. So I always feel that the messages aren't just for the person that we're speaking with, which is why I think it's good to watch more than just you, because many people have written to me about this independently, just saying, yeah, I mean, that message for that person, that was like totally you were speaking to me. And this is what happens. The message isn't just for the one person. The one person brings their energy into it, and then it's a message for more than one. So you can go back to them and access that beautiful energy, soul energy that's coming through. So this is what we call soul to soul, a little chat with souls and seeing what comes from it. Okay, so for privacy's sake, I'm just going to say what your first name is and then initials of other, so that you can identify yourself too. So this is for Ruth JB. Ruth JB. So I'm just going to connect in to you, Ruth, and see what your higher self's message is for you today. Okay, so for me, it's easier sometimes just to close my eyes, so that way I can go into my inner landscapes and get less distracted from what's around me and go from there. Okay, Ruth, this is all about your heart, darling. Okay, so this is all about your heart. So you're showing me straight away flowers and butterflies. So there's a real need right now to bring your attention back to the beautiful things this world has to offer. There's a real need to remind yourself of the beauty in the world, to remind yourself that your heart is a beautiful and open and loving thing about you, to not shy away from that, to not be ashamed of that, to not apologize for that. That's actually who you are, and being fully accepting of that loving being that you are is enough, and it is wonderful. So there's no apology needed in the world for that. It's just you acclimatizing to being okay with that, to loving yourself because of that. But a way back to equilibrium that's needed at the moment is through beauty. And you're definitely showing me flowers and you're showing me butterflies. So if you can go out and find some flowers to watch and watch the insect world, that's actually going to return you back to a nice level playing field and calmness and beauty, and expand your heart into being again. Okay, so I hope that's useful for you. And a card for you. I'm going to use card decks for this, which is the Spirit Oracle. Oops. And let's see what your card is for today. So this is to move on through, not just for today, but the foreseeable near future. And it's number 49. It's the Rabbit Spirit. And it's saying, if you can see that, now is a lucky time. So believe in the universe and that it has your back, front, below and above, and that you can move into that channel of being in with the flow of the universal supply now and always. Okay, Ruth, hope that's of use. Just to say, I know some people who've asked for these and I have never met some others. So some people I've never met before, and others I have. So there were queries about that last time, so I just wanted to pop that one in there too. Okay, so this is for Laura V. Okay, Laura, here's yours. Okay, so Laura, you're feeling like there's loads of different options of emotions that are going on right now, and it feels almost like you're betwixt and between, if I can use that expression. So there are some things that are very clear in your life and you're full on with that, and that brings you peace, it brings you clarity, it brings you joy, and that's brilliant. And there's other areas of life that they're starting to feel a little bit, like trying to hold water in your hand where your fingers are open and it's not happening, and it's loose and it's slipping away. So there are some things that are slippery and slipping away. Let them. If they're not being held, it's because it's not meant at the moment. It doesn't mean to say it's not meant forever. It's just at this moment in time, there's some transformations going on within you and people you're living with and the environment and out there. And those need to find some further purchase before you can grapple with them, or before you decide to include them in your life or let them go. So there's a lot of transformation changes, opportunities coming your way, and there's some that are just slipping away. So just be aware that the ones that are slipping away, give you a blessing that they can just go away and you don't have to actually push or pull or follow them in any way. But the opportunities, it sort of makes room then. It makes you don't have to even worry about which ones to do what with. Allow them to just be. So if they're going away, it's not meant for right now. That leaves room in your heart and your life to accept other things that are coming up. Each emotion that you're feeling at the moment is extraordinarily valid. Okay, so there's some validity that you need to look at. Sort of honor what's coming up, really honor it, bring it up into priority of awareness. There's things that you can just, pop aside for now, and sometimes that's really appropriate, but right now it's like, actually, that thing that's still there, that's not quite sitting right, is very valid to have a look at, so that you can bring it into your full healing heart awareness, and blow some life into it if it needs to get bigger so that you can work with it, or to just heal it better so that it can actually sit somewhere, so you return back to your internal peace, because it's internal peace that is your most biggest goal right now, and that you're achieving in so many different areas of your life. So fabulous, well done you, because it feels like, oh, you've just got that beautiful piece of self that's going on there. But it seems to, because you've achieved that, it seems to highlight those areas that are niggly. They're no bigger than they've ever been. It's just that the quality of peace that you've now got highlights it more. Yeah? Okay, so your card for your overall well-being at the moment is number 52, and it's the scarab beetle spirit. Just reminding you of the magic of life, and that magic works through you. So magical Laura. Woo! That's appropriate. Okay. And now our connection now is for Henk N. This is for you, Henk. This is your connection for today. Okay. Right. Okay. So Henk, I feel like we are on we're sometimes on a boat, really happy, bobbing along on the sea of change, and sometimes we're on land, and also, we know where we are, we found purchase, we know how to walk on land as well as bobbing along on the sea. But have you ever had that thing where you've been on the sea a long time on a boat, and then that expression of you have to find your land legs, where we go on land and we're still feeling like it's rolling, so whoop, we have to find our land legs. There's some areas in your life at the moment that are coming up where you're a bit feeling like you're neither one nor the other. It's like you know what it's like to be on the sea, on the boat, and you know what it's like to be on the land, but there's that bit where you're stepping off the boat onto land, or land onto the boat, where you're where there's change going on, and you're not quite sure about where it all fits into your life. It's like you're processing, that's the word, you're processing things at the moment, Hank. So please, please, please do it lightly. Your higher self is saying, let's lighten up about this. It's like you've got a bit stuck in the processing of something at the moment, and it's like, if we lighten up about this, then the answers are going to find you much easier. Okay, so it's almost like you're not quite sure of this. It's just sort of causing you some sort of disconnection and worry and concern, and so you've got stuck in this worry and concern bit, and therefore the answers aren't finding you as easy as they normally do when you're fully at sea or fully on the planet. So what your higher self is doing is saying, oh, do that thing that you do where it's like, oh, well, never mind, blah, and walk away from it for a while. And then when you come back, some information that's been trying to come through to you will arrive. It's your higher self is sort of saying, when you hold things too tightly, it's almost like there's too much of a stranglehold on it. So so the other information can't get in, and it needs to get into your pot of wisdom and your pot of exploration and deciding what's true for you. There's other information that's trying to come in that's part of the jigsaw, and you can't see the whole jigsaw because some of the pieces haven't arrived yet. So you just need to allow that information to get to you before you can see it clearly. And the way forward for that is to let it go, to just lighten it up, let it go. Don't worry about it quite so much and step back and get some perspective. This is just one area of your life. It isn't actually covering all of your life at all. You're really happy on that bobbing boat and lifting your head up and just having, being grateful about lots of things in your life. And on land, there's good purchase, there's things that you know lots about. It's just this aspect that's the in-between bit that's coming up to be addressed. So if you can lighten that perspective, if you can get a bit further away from it, if you just do that with it, let it go. So the other parts of the information can find you, and then you can fit that into more of a sure being as well. Okay, hope that makes some sense. And your card is the vulture spirit, which says nothing is wasted. So all this time that you've spent sort of mulling over what is going on, so on and so forth, none of it's wasted. It's all going to be treasure at some stage. That's your one. Okay, Henk. Right. So I wish you well with that one. And now I'm going to connect into Lucy. So this is for Lucy B. This is your one, darling. Okay. Okay, Lucy, this is wow. This is an amazing time for you. I feel like you are so what you've shown me is a crane, okay? So a big crane, and it's just had a baby, and it's and the young crane bird is all fluffy and fluffy baby. And that feels like you. It feels like you're an ancient being that has lived so far in this lifetime and has returned fully more into your body now, but as a new baby. So it's like a new beginning. But you've got the wisdom of the ancient there, but you've got the of a new beginning. You've got the sort of innocence and the hopefulness and the passion and the inquiry of a new baby. So it's almost like you know all this stuff, but you know nothing. And therefore, it's a beginner's mind that is coming to the fore. So it feels like there's been a massive shift in your life, and you've got a really different landscape ahead of you. It's like you've got different eyes now. You can see things in a completely different way. You're very much aware of all the history and various things that you've already got, but this is a time to really go into that and to really express yourself in a new way, to be bold in your innocence and be bold in your wisdom all at the same time. It's a real mixture of energies that are coming through. It's like different aspects of your soul are all wanting to come forward at the same time, which they can. Your higher self is just saying, just one at a time. So sometimes you might want the innocent approach, sometimes you want the wisdom approach, sometimes you want the fun, sometimes you want to let go of it all and just have some playtime, so on and so on and so on. So all the different aspects are coming into equilibrium. So your soulful journey is more of a whole feeling about it. It's more of a holistic life. Like some of the aspects of you that have been too quiet or unknown even, or dulled to fit society's needs or someone else's needs. It's like all that's over. It's like, no, that's not going to happen again. It's just finished. It's just complete. It's complete. It's more complete than anything else. And because of that completeness, you can move forward attending to all the being that you are. And that means some parts of your personality might change, and therefore that's going to be interesting for those around you. And sometimes it means that you're just discovering who you are in certain areas. And that's exciting. That's something to be celebrated, not frightened of. And to sort of go, oh, well, I never used to respond like that. I've just responded in this way. What's that about? And do an innocent inquiry into where that's coming from. You're basically getting much stronger, more self-knowledge has arrived, and the courage to live that way is also here. Okay, darling. And your card is Fox Spirit, number 27, and it's asking you to think on your feet. Okay, to think on your feet. Well, you'll have to, won't you, I guess, if there's loads of different parts of you coming together and all wanting to have some sort of purchase with you, some time, some way of expression, then it's going to require you to have a different dance in life. A new rhythm. Woo, excited. Let me know how you go with that. Thanks, Lucy. Okay, so this one is for Parel. Okay, this is Parel P. This is for you, sweetheart. Okay. So you want to talk about evolution. Evolution of the soul, evolution of the spirit. And your heart wants to say, I want to get really, really, really happy with the idea that I am ever evolving, that there isn't a necessity to understand who I am right now, because the evolution tide provides change in each and every breath that you take. Okay, Parel, so that's the message from your higher self, is to say that accepting who you are in this moment is all and everything that you can be and do. And that any sort of need to hold on to the value of who you are in that breath is irrelevant, because there's an overwhelming desire to accommodate that we are evolving breath by breath. And who you were 5 minutes ago is who you were 5 minutes ago. But that change that happened 5 minutes ago has altered who you are now, and will again and again and again. So your higher self is asking you to get really comfortable with your own evolution pace, which will change. There's some times where you will definitely, and you have done, previously, so you'll reach a plateau. And that plateau will be a time where you can contemplate, and you can assimilate, and you can learn, and you can decide, which parts are good, which parts you've outgrown, so on and so forth. But that is not this time at the moment. At the moment, you're in a real momentum. You're in a momentum phase, and this momentum phase is asking you not to have to anchor anything down, but just to be in as fully as you possibly can in the present moment, so that you can actually be at ease with who you are now, and not to worry that in 3 days' time you feel like you've had a personality flip. Exciting times. Just warn a few people living with you that this is a time of change for you. But it's not change your higher self is talking about, it's evolution. You're evolving, ever evolving, and to be able to mindfully capture where you are right now is kind of impossible. Your higher self is saying, please don't bother asking right now, because the change is still in process. So you're giving me an analogy about baking a cake. So you're baking a cake and you know all the ingredients of your personality, you know the ingredients that have been weighed out, and you know what they are and the different aspects of your soul. They're all there before you. When you mix the cake, no matter how many times you've done it before or never before, we are not sure about how it's going to come out of that oven. We're not sure how it's going to actually taste. We're not sure, can be positive about if it's risen, if it's flat, or what's going to happen. We can't be sure. And you're in that process at the moment. You're in the oven. So you've got all the different aspects together, and the alchemy of change is what's happening. The alchemy of that combination of elements of your personality and your soul are all mixing up. They're heating up. They're finding a way of melding together. So right now, it's like you're in the observation mode, if you like. Part of you is outside of yourself, just watching what's happening as you're evolving. And soon you'll come out the oven, cooked and being something else. That's when the plateau will arrive, and that's when you can start asking again. Okay, so I hope that's clear. And you've got glasses on so I can see. Number 53, Seahorse Spirit. Watch and wait. That's no surprise, is it? That's what they're asking of you. Watch and wait. So that's a nice confirmation there. Okay, my darlings, just one more for today. And this is for Mandy. Mandy K. This is yours, sweetheart. Okay, Mandy. Here we go. Okay, Mand. Where are you? Right. Okay. So a short while ago, I think it was when you were watching the series of these previously, when that was happening, you were reaching new heights of vibrational living. It was assisting you. You were feeding from the well of spirit. Mandy, you need to do more of that. That's exactly what you need to do. You need to feed from the well of spirit in some way, shape, or form, or lots of different ways. So go dancing. You need to get out there and go dancing. That means out in the garden, at someone else's garden, if that's allowed. To have a meet up and a cup of coffee or something, and to sort of dance around your kitchen. It's like you need playful movement, the movement that's required for you right now to break into your freedom, not out of, but into your freedom, is a bit of movement. So a bit of movement on that regard would really help. But drink from the well of spirit. It's like you are getting a lot from the previous group of these connections, personal connections that were going up, and it was helping you to self-inquire but feel really good about yourself and really good about the world and really good about other people, and to expand that into that unity consciousness, that heaven on earth that we're all about. And your higher self is asking you to definitely do that again. Oh, do some open book, do some open book about questions in your life at the moment. Find a good positive spiritual book that you can hold in your hand and ask the question and then open it randomly, allow your eyes to go to wherever it needs to and just read that sentence or word or whole paragraph and find the meaning. Rely more on spirit, rely more on the universe providing these signs and answers for you. For anybody that's interested in that, I've done a previous YouTube video which is called Open Book, and it's a way of actually getting information from the universe that you really need right now. So that's a really good one to look up if you want to. It's called Open Book. Another free tool out there that might be of use to lots of different people. But Mandy, I know you've used that before. You know what I'm waffling on about here. Go to your books, ask spirit to guide you. It's almost like there's a fabulous, gorgeous sort of it's almost like there's a like you've prepared a veggie bed, if you like, and all of the wonderful nutrients are in the ground, and there's lots of nitrogen there, and you've fed it with a load of muck, and you've done all the preparations done, and it's like the seeds have been planted, and now it's time for you to grow and bloom. That's where you're at. It's time for you to grow and bloom. Just a little bit of watering and a little bit of nurturing now from the well of spirit will assist you into blooming. So happy blooming. That's great, man. Okay, lots of love. I've got your card for you. Let's see what your card is. Okay, your card is number 36, a koi fish spirit. Oh, wow. There is always enough. Okay. That's your card, darling. There is always enough. So trust in the universal supply and it'll find you. Always does. Okay, my darling, lots of love. Okay, everyone, hope you enjoyed that. I'll be back soon with another group of people. Mwah. Bye for now.